Hi, I'm Dr. Gavin Benke. I am a senior lecturer in the College of Arts and Sciences writing program here at BU, where I teach courses like the Corporation in American Culture and the 2008 financial crisis and its aftermath. Both of those courses reflect my own writing and research interests in the history of capitalism in the United States. But today, I'm here to talk about the course I'm going to be co-teaching in the fall with Dr. Stacy Scott. And that course is titled Stories Across Borders, and it is one of the cross-college challenge courses BU is going to be running. So I'm really excited to be here with Stacy, who's going to say a little bit more about the project. Hi, Stacy.
Hello, everyone. Yes, we are really excited about this course and being able to invite you in to come and learn with us this semester. My name again is Dr. Stacy Scott, and I'm a senior lecturer in Wheelock College of Human Development Education. And so I focus on leadership, and most of my work is around governance and strategic planning, and I do the undergraduate course for social civic context of education. My background is as a psychologist, both in private practice and in consulting, and also as a superintendent of schools in Massachusetts and in the Maryland area. I come to this course because I'm very excited about learning more about the world. I initially began thinking about this course as I traveled in Brazil and China, and thinking about what would be the different ways for people around the world to learn about each other. How could we create windows into different worlds around the globe in order to help people know each other better, in order to help people connect to each other better? And so I began thinking about the various themes and topics that people could explore in interviews if we could ask people about their thoughts about beauty or leadership or their life journey. So we created the Spirit of Wonder Project as a way to create windows into the world, and in particular to focus on the life journey of individuals from around the world so they could tell their stories more appropriately. That's where the idea came from, and it's our opportunity to be able to invite others like yourselves to come into this course and to learn more about the research process and interview process that is the Spirit of Wonder process. So Gavin, what brought you to this project?
So I taught a section of the Cross College Challenge in the fall of 2018, and it was one of my favorite experiences since arriving at BU. I loved how open-ended the project was and how the students sort of worked in teams and really took ownership of the material and really went beyond what they initially expected they could do in the course of a semester and put together just some tremendous work. And I also really enjoyed the process of co-teaching with one of my colleagues at BU. So I definitely wanted to do it again. And when I was looking through the proposed projects, I was instantly drawn to the Spirit of Wonder, in part because storytelling and narrative as a way of understanding the world is a big part of my own writing and research. And so I thought that was a good fit, but I was also really drawn to it because of the interview process. I've worked on oral history projects in the past, and I find that experience of just talking to people and learning more about their own life experiences to be tremendously rewarding and just fascinating. And so for me, this project seemed to check off all of the boxes.
Well, I also would add to that part of what draws me to this particular project is my own research experience. My graduate work was epidemiological work in terms of looking at how people pursue different experiences of at-risk behavior or not, what are the choices that they make. And so we had an interview team, and we would go out into schools, rurally, urban, suburban schools, and be able to interview students directly. And what you learn in that interview process is fascinating and amazing, and something that is certainly I'm eager to share with our students. What do you think that our students will gain from this particular class? What are the skills that you think that they will walk away with?
Well, I mean, in addition to actually just hearing the stories and just broadening their own horizons and having that face-to-face interaction with people from all over the world, I think there's a bunch of really, really practical skills students are going to come away with. They're going to learn how to work in teams. And that means lots of different negotiations and learning to be flexible and figuring out what needs to be done and how to work as a unit towards a single goal. They're certainly going to gain experience with several different types of research methods, not just the interview process, but also analyzing what they actually find once they collect that interview material. Students are also going to learn to present orally in front of a client, which is a big part of the Cross College Challenge. And then finally, students are going to have to figure out some sort of creative presentation of this material because of the Creativity and Innovation Hub unit. So all of these skills are ones that I think will pay off in the future, no matter what students do beyond BU. What do you hope they get out of the class?
Well, the teaming is going to be important because they're going to make choices about what roles they want to play on the teams. Some may feel stronger at interviewing, some at transcribing and organizing, and others with analyzing. And so all of that's going to create a rich teaming experience that I think they're going to walk away with a sense of accomplishment. And we're looking forward to it as the Spirit of Wonder project because we're always looking for more interviews, more materials, more stories about what happens when people sort of cross borders and cross cultures and learn more about what's going on around the world. We think that their analyses and their final reports are going to tell us interesting things not only about the world, but also about how we could go forward with the Spirit of Wonder project and make it better. Well, tell us about the final products that students will be expected to produce in the class.
Well, to seeing what the students come up with. Certainly, there is a presentation to the client that will be both delivered in person, and there will be some sort of tangible report that the students produce. But beyond that, it's really quite open-ended. I mean, one of the wonderful things about the Cross College Challenge is it really puts the question to the students. All right, here's the task. How are you going to accomplish it? So in some ways, it will be up to the teams to determine the best way to deliver their analysis of the research to that client. Will be a final report. And we know that each team will be conducting interviews. But beyond that, it really will be interesting to see what the teams come up with. And that's where we get to the challenge part of the Cross College Challenge. Stacey, what do you think the students are what's it gonna be like for them to interview people?
Well, I think that for some students, it'll be more challenging than others, just sort of becoming comfortable asking questions of others. I think that there's a certain amount of excitement that comes with really listening to someone as their story unfolds. And so I think they're going to find it sort of fascinating coming back into the classroom or into the lab, so to speak, and analyzing the materials that they're getting and comparing one interview over and against another. And I also think they're going to have a fun time creatively thinking about how we can make the project even better going forward. So there's lots of things that I sort of hope that they will get. What do you think it's going to be like for them to have two professors from two very different backgrounds in the class teaching them?
I think they'll have fun with it. I mean, in some ways, having two professors really changes the dynamic, and it doesn't fall into an easy model of lecture and note-taking. It really sort of lends itself to much more of a collaborative sort of teamwork environment in the actual classroom sessions. So I think the students will find that after the initial introduction of the material, that you and I are going to be much more active as collaborators and advisors to the students, rather than a rigid professor-student sort of dynamic. So I think they're going to enjoy that a lot.
I do find that to be the kind of ambiance that I like to create in the class, where it's really about their learning. They can really direct it, and they can find exciting opportunities as a result of that. We're not only excited about their interviews and them becoming good interviewers and comfortable with that, and what kind of products they'll create, but also how they'll present that back to us. We think that's going to inform us in ways that'll be meaningful. We actually hope that there'll be some students in the class that want to continue on volunteering with us and doing internships and continuing on with the project as long as they would like to. We think that'll be exciting to have new recruits in that regard as well.
That's great. And you know, if the last time I taught this course is any indication, the students are going to come away really feeling that this was a unique experience, and that in some cases opened up career options they didn't realize were there, or provides a new perspective just onto the world around them. And so I think it's going to be a really exciting semester, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, for those students that have already signed up, we're looking forward to welcoming them, and hopefully we'll get a few more students over the course of the summer who will join us, and it's going to be an exciting fall.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin.
All right, bye-bye, Stacy.